Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Maybe good morning for some. How are you? Hello, Roger. Hey, Samuel. Roasted. How's everybody doing? Okay, do I have a chart up? I take it there's sound, so let's make sure everything's working. The recorder is working, so looks like everything's going well today, except for what is it? DeepSeek? Is that what it is? DeepSeek. Hey, Tex. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. I want to welcome everybody to the Monday with Rick webinar here in the live trading alerts education room. And I want to remind anybody that has the scanner or questions about the scanner, you can come to this room pretty much any time, unless it's a ridiculous time of night. Ed monitors it, so definitely during the day, please feel free to come to this room if you have any questions about the scanner, whether you're a scanner user or whether you're somebody that is just simply asking questions about it. Okay, so this is the place to be. My name is Rick. I run the Hit Run Candlestick trading room, so thank you again for everybody that's being here. Ed allows me to come over on Mondays right here at 11:45 Eastern to talk about the market, some trades, charts, as well as the scanner. So I'll be doing all that today. So, well, if you don't know what a black swan event is, we had one today with the news out on DeepSeek saying that they could pretty much best everybody else in AI, and it has really, it took the market by a little bit of surprise this morning and gapped us to the downside here. One thing that I mentioned in the Hit Run Candlestick trading room this morning, and I'd like to mention it now, one of the keys to trading is not to panic. If we're down because of an event like this, you've got to evaluate your trade, and you've got to make that decision. Do you just cut bait, let it go, or do you keep it? And you've got to have your reasons for doing either one. As an example, I was holding Mara, still holding Mara, M-A-R-A, and I'm still holding it. I even added to it this morning, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to keep it near the close today. I'm going to have to evaluate this and decide if I want to keep it. As it's acting right now, I'm not feeling the love, so I may have to close it out. So that's an example of how I might look at a trade and what I might do with it. So most every trader, investor, I don't care how big you are, how small you are, you were affected in one way or another with this event today. Okay, so don't feel like the market is singling you out. Don't feel like you're the only person out there that's maybe getting beat up in a position. You're not the only one. Another thing that I think about this market is it's important for us. It's important for me. Okay, I can't say us. I don't know what you guys do, but it's important for me. Before I go to buying any positions, I need to make sure the market is squaring itself away. Now, I think the move down in the SPY here, I don't think it was horrible. It was just simply an event, is what it is. And I still think the Bulls are going to win this game in the next 5-6 months. In fact, I've publicly said that I think the SPY will get to 650 before July 1. So we'll see what happens. But right now, that's what I'm still looking for. Now, that does not mean that we can't, bop around here and even pull back and test these levels. We certainly can. But I still think that overall the market resolves to the upside, say by July 1st, okay? So for the first 6 months in the market here. Now, with that said, we want to place trades and we want to have an advantage. We need something in our favor. One thing is going to be the market, and the market is not there yet today. We need to, the market needs to digest everything that's happened. So here's some things on the SPY that I'm looking at. This area right here, this represents 50% retracement from the recent high down here to the recent low. And right there's the 50% retracement. And that's just where we landed. That is an excellent area for the bulls to say, okay, that's enough. And so far, that's what they're doing. The bulls have given up all this top, allowed the sellers to win this game to this level. Now, let's see what happens here. It may take a day or two to work ourselves out of this. It may take a day or two to even fall through. And I'm not saying we can't. I just need to give the market time to decide what it's going to do. Another thing that I noticed in the market here is if we take this trend line here, and if we just draw it on these tops right here, you can see price came right back down to it. So, so far, to me, the market is doing something that is fairly normal. I mean, events that gap the market down this much, I'm not going to say that that's normal. But as far as the chart pattern goes, I think that's relatively normal. Here's another thing that I want to point out. While we have ran from this low up to the 50 right here, we consolidated one day and then ran right up to this top without a test of that 50 period moving average. Well, we were due anyway. And I talked about this last week. We are very, very overbought in here. Like I said, last week, Thursday, Friday, talked about it, overbought. Be prepared for a little bit of consolidation, some rest, some sloppy trading coming in. Now, believe me, I was not expecting this sort of thing, not even remotely close. I was thinking more like a nice little normal, okay, let's pull back, test that 50 period moving average, come down, take a peek at it, maybe from a distance, maybe all the way to it, at least catch up to the T-line here, and then maybe the bulls come back in. That's what I was kind of looking at. Well, the old black swan flew over and took a turd on the market here and really knocked us down. Now the market's going to need to work itself out of this. The market's going to need to evaluate things a little bit, and it may take a day or two. Okay, with that said, I want to look at some charts here that the scanner has brought up today. An example, I wrote some down here. An example would be this Delta. If you're looking for a long trade, this Delta Airlines is looking good. For those that aren't familiar with the the 3/8 trap setup, this is what I would call perfection. Now, just because I'm calling this perfection doesn't mean it's a guaranteed winner. It's just perfection because it's doing everything we would want to do in the market. And I'm going to write that one down there that Tex put out, so because he's right. SFM is another one. Thanks, Tex. So I've got a scan here. I've got a couple scanned windows. I'll be glad to show you this here in a minute. But what I'm looking at is for the chart to be bullish, and you can see that our trend is up. Our trend indicator is green. You can see that we've rallied up to a high and that we've pulled back, and now we're sitting here in a 3/8 trap right there. Now, what a 3/8 trap is when you take, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to bring up a moving average here. There we go. There we go. And this is the 3 EMA for those for those that want to put that on their chart, I use the 3 EMA high is what I use. So what that means is it's an exponential moving average, and it's the average of the highs opposed to last, okay? So I use the highs. Anyway, so here we are. Let me put this back up right here. There's our 3/8 trap, where price is trapped below the 3 and above the T line right here. And to go with that, again, we have this bullish trend working right here. Now, a few other things we might add to this is let's come over here to this top and let's just draw a line straight across. And you can see that that's what we're coming down and testing. So above that line, this Delta Airlines just might be a pretty nice trade. Now, I'm sure there's somebody out there saying, well, geez, you know, I see this wick, I see this high. What about that? Well, look, if you're one of those folks that are looking at that, and if you think it's a better buy above that, then that's what you do. When it's all said and done, I can look at charts till I'm blue in the face here. I can talk about them. When it's all said and done, it's up to you to trade your trade. So you've got to decide, is this the buy area or is this the buy area? One thing that will never change is our target will be higher. It doesn't matter where you put the target will be higher. So we can all agree on that. So now it's a matter of simply where are you going to buy it? And whoops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. It's simply up to where are you going to buy that chart, in this area or on that breakout. Okay, so this is a typical trade, what I might be looking for. Another one, well, let's look at that SFM that Tex brought up. Look at that. See how we have this, and these are all coming up on the scanner here. I'm not, here, I'm going to put this right here for us. I'm going to make that stay on top. And this is one window that a lot of things are coming up on. I've got a couple other windows that we can look at as this webinar goes if we don't see enough pop up here. But SFM is another one. We can see that we've got this trend going on, and I'm looking at the trend indicator here and, utilizing the scanner to help me because let me do this real quick. There we go. So it doesn't matter who you are. It could be Tex there, Roger, myself, Samuel, doesn't matter. We all have an idea how we want to trade, okay? And this might be my area to trade, or it could be Tex's area to trade, Samuel's or Roger's. And what you're going to have in here is, let's see, pin. What you're going to have in here are rules, okay? These are your rules. Whatever rules, maybe the way you want your chart set up, what you're looking in on the market could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be as many as you want. We all have this, every single one of us, okay? It doesn't mean that all of us have the exact same thing. Now, I will bet money that if we were to look at each one of our trading rules or setups, we will all cross paths a little bit. I would bet money that we all cross paths a little bit. Okay, I would bet that. Some may even be more, say into whose ever this is. This could be mine, this could be Texas, could be Roger, Sam, it doesn't matter. But everyone else in this room right now, anyone who can hear me, you're going to be either, really close to that or around the fringes with your rules and your setup. Excuse me. So, one thing that I look for is that trend. I want those green dots, and I plug that in to the scanner. I plug all this in there because I only want to look at a certain setup. Let me back that up. I may have 5 particular setups that I like. I plug that in to an individual window. Okay, so I could have 5 of these alert windows set up looking for 5 different setups. For instance, this is a trending 3/8 trap. Well, what if I want to look at a rounded bottom breakout, for example? This window would be set up differently. So I may have multiple types of setups, just like you, and then I just adjust this alert window to accommodate what I'm looking for. So I'm sorry to kind of, head down one way and then sort of backtrack, but I just want to make sure I explain everything here. So I'm looking for this trend. In this particular case, I'm looking for a 3/8 trap. And the 3/8 trap, by the way, let's do this. There's a nice 3/8 trap right through there. So it could have been bought here. You would have gotten that pop in there. Maybe you're living with this. Maybe you're not. Maybe you took your money. Somebody else looking at the chart. There's 3/8 traps set up here. And now we have a 3/8 trap breakout. So a breakout for me is when we move over that highest moving average, which happens to be that 3 EMA high. When we move over that just creates momentum for me. So I look at this chart and it looks like it's building momentum. And right now I would be looking at a target of that 154.75. Very simple, very, very easy. Anyone have any questions? Please don't be bashful at all. Okay. Take a look at DRI. This is another one. We had a member in our trading room spot this Friday. I used it in my social media as an example over the weekend, made a video, YouTube video on this. And let's move this out of the way. Look at that 3/8 trap right there. And see how price rallied up. See how our dots turned to green. There's the 3/8 trap right in there. Could have been bought here. Could have been bought here. And at this moment, it is still in a buy area. So these are all charts that, like I say, came from this scan or another scan, very much just like it, that are set up in a particular way that I want them set up. So let's go take a look at EAT as an example. It just popped up for you live right here, real time. Let's take a look at EAT. And you can see there's the bullish trend I want. I have it built in that I want, those dots to be green. Here we've rallied up and here we've pulled back. Can you see the 3/8 trap right there? Both Friday and today. Both Friday and today. Perfect. Now, so let's take this backwards. Let's do this. I'm going to put a static line up so it stays there. We're just going to go from pretty much this candle. Let's kind of adjust this. I just want to focus. Want your eyes to focus. See how the dots are green. We're trending. Everything is bullish. Now let's look at this. I'm going to take this. And while we see this as a 3/8 trap setup, do you see this as a 3/8 trap setup? That could be an entry. And that would have alerted right here. Okay. See how we're up and we're back. Trend is still green. You see those candles right there? Right. In fact, this one right here as well. This would have alerted. So you would have had that opportunity to buy it. Now, I can't say you would have bought it because I don't know what you, everyone out here, I don't know what you're looking for exactly. But this is based on this 3/8 trap. This is set up perfect right into here. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand that. If you have any questions, please let me know. Look at GH. Are we set up here on GH? So bottom line is as bad as the market might seem right now, there are still very bullish charts out there. I want to talk about that for a second. Why would I want to trade bullish at the moment? Simply because the market is not bearish. How's that? Okay. Look, I know, and again, everyone has their what they look for, what's bullish, what's bearish, things like that. I'm going to come over here to this chart. We'll try this chart. No, let's go back to this one. Let's look at this chart. I'm going to I'll move that, I guess. And you see how the white line is still above the green dots? Well, that's the T line. The white line is the T line. That's the 8 exponential moving average. And the green dots is simply my trend. And I want price to be above that, both in the market and the chart I'm looking for to be bullish. I want price to be below that, both in the chart that I'm looking to buy and the market to be bearish. Right now, this market remains bullish. Now, you know, you hear a lot of things like you don't want to predict the market, but that's really not true. We do predict the market. We absolutely do. I predict candlesticks, you predict candlesticks. I predict chart patterns, you predict chart patterns. That's what we're doing. Well, to me, the trend is predictable. And I've decided, right, wrong, or indifferent, as long as the T line and price stays above the trendicator, then I'm going to predict that trend will stay a trend till it's no longer a trend. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to add a word in there. I'm going to predict that this bullish trend will remain bullish until it's no longer bullish. All right, let's do this again, but let's do it over here. See how we were bearish right there? Now let's move this all the way up. And let's do this right here. Price, I guarantee you, price is above the trendicator. The T line is above the trendicator, the white line above the green dots, right? Okay, I predict that this trend will remain bullish until it's no longer bullish. There you go, right there. Very, very simple. Notice how the T line is below the trendicator, the red dots. I guarantee you price is down here. I will predict that this right here will remain bearish until it's no longer bearish. There you go. It's that simple. Now, we dial it down, we get a little more fine-tuned when we start looking at price. For instance, right here, there had to be some sort of candlestick reversal activity, and then there had to be some follow-through. Had to be. Right through here, there had to be some bearish candlestick activity, and there had to be some kind of bearish price activity to the downside to make that happen. Okay, so once we're in that trend, just like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for charts that, like jets here, look at jets, trending up, everything's working. I'm going to assume that this trend will remain a trend until it's no longer a trend. There is a prediction right there. Now, I'm going to just make this just a little bit shorter so I can get to this. There we go. Whoops. Get to what? Get to this. Now, what I'm going to use is in this alert, I've got it dialed in to tell me when price is below that blue line and above that black line. And that is my entry mechanism. My entry mechanism is actually, I'm going to go a little above that candle down there. That's my entry area. This one happens to be looking for 3/8 traps. So that's why it's bringing up these 3/8 traps right here. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions at all on this? I don't see anyone typing. Okay, no questions. Let's take a look at ALKS. Look at ALKS. Now, you don't see it coming up on here. That's because, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I had it come up on another window right here. All right. Now I'm going to move this one back over here for now. And you can see how this is up. And here we are in that trap this morning, yesterday, and here we are breaking out. Okay. This is a chart that I would consider buying. Now, I'm not consider buying anything today whatsoever until later today. And the reason is I want to evaluate the market after a full day. After a full day of this event that was dropped on us, I want to see how the market negotiates itself through that. So what I will do, and by the way, I use TC2000. This is my charting program, you see. I will come up here and flag that chart because I like the way that looks. That looks like a buy to me. You know, if we were just to take a percentage on this, a 10% move would be about right there. 20% move would be up there, something like that. So just from a percentage point of view, a 10% or 20%, you know, that's something I'm looking for. Okay, that might be the target. And I'm looking at this chart. But again, today, I don't feel I have an edge, at least not till later today, maybe. And even then, I might not have a clear edge. So I might wait till tomorrow. Well, what I'm going to do is flag this, and then I'm going to bring this right here down. This is one of I personally think this is one of the best ways to use the scanner. With that said, you know, I think there's probably 5 or 6 superb ways to use the scanner, and this is one of them. So what I'm going to do is flag this. And throughout the day or at the end of the day, I will simply come over here and take every stock that I flagged, and I'm going to copy that, put it on my clipboard. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put it in my alert window. So just like this, simply copy and paste. It's going to tell me that TC2000 is not a ticker symbol. I'm going to say okay. And bada boom, bada bing, I just put those charts in there. Now, these are charts that I flagged. Why did I flag these? They may have come from another scan. They may have come from Joe, Victoria, Tex, Ed, Samuel, Roger. One of the best things that you can do when you're in any trading room, okay? I mean, I would love you to be in the hit and run candlestick trading room. But no matter what trading room you're in, when you see somebody post a chart and you like it, I flag it. So not only do I utilize the scanner, I use all the scanning from the traders in the hit and run candlestick room. And if I like, because I don't find them all. I mean, I wish I could, but I don't. You know, so somebody from the room, they put out a stock they like. I like that. I will flag it, and it will go on what I call my Hawkeye charts. That's just something we did, kind of a joke a while back. And then this becomes one of the main windows I look at for a trade. Okay, so let's look at FI, for example. There's FI. It's set up just the way I want, just like that. Okay. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Joe, hi, where can I get stocks with high option volume? Let's see, Tex, I guess you know, the CBOE list is one place you can get them. If you're in the trading room, I'm sure it's in here. If you go up in the room here, and you go under notes, or files. You go into files, you'll find a list of CBOE stocks that are renewed, put up there every single month, and it's a top 400. Now, if you have the scanner, you can also do that by see, I have this set to my Hawkeye charts, but I could set this to the CBOE list as well. I'll do that for now. I will add that. In fact, I'll take this list off. I can always add that back. There we go. So now what we're going to do is look at the top 400 that meets all my criteria for a trade. Now, it's going to make this go dark just for a moment. So there's two places you can get this list, in the files up there. And it won't matter if you're in this room, or if you're in the hit run candlestick room, or if you're in the right way options room, or if you're in the BYOB room. These files are put there every single month when they're renewed, okay? So you can always get them. And you can always get them from, going to the scanner and just clicking on that right there. Let's see, I'm going to kind of bump this a little bit, see if I can rescan everything. Probably if I just leave it alone, everything will be just fine. Come on, there we go. All right. Oh, I saw AFL there. So let's go look at AFL. Now this is coming from the CBOE list, okay? Higher volume. Normally when I use that list, I only use the top 200 volume, by the way. But I'm not going to mess with that right now. We're just going to use the whole list. But you can see AFLAC here is doing just what I would want it to do. There's our price run up. There's our trend. Here's our pullback. There's our 3/8 trap set up right in here. And we're getting a breakout now, so we're getting momentum. Now it's up to you as a trader. When you see stocks come up, or, if I send out an alert, is this chart for you? Is that chart for you? So we'll let this perk just a little bit. In the meantime, let's come over here and look at some of these that are popping up. PBR. Look at that. Beautiful trade. And by the way, you can look for trades as fancy as you want. If you want to add some cloud stuff in there, if you want to add, in the background, you want to add some RSI stuff, stochastic stuff, MACD. If you want to add any of that in there, you can add that in there. And now you're drilling down to what you want. So if you have a list of things, you want a trend, maybe you want MACD, right? Maybe you want the 3 trap, I don't know. Maybe you want that. Maybe you want to be above the cloud. Maybe you want to be above the cloud in this time frame, but maybe not that time frame, la-di-da, whatever you're thinking there. Maybe you want the daily chart to be doing something. You also want the 60-minute chart, and maybe you want the 10-minute chart to be doing something. You can all dial that in through there. And then you can narrow down. Remember, everybody, I don't care who you are, this is a fact. Otherwise you're not really a trader. You're just hoping and praying for a trade maybe. But every trader has a vision of what they're looking for, okay? Every trader does. And your vision, you've got that list of what you're looking for. So we could do, there's your vision right there maybe. You want all these things to be working, and now you want to trade from that vision right there. And that's something that the scanner does. And whether you use the scanner or whether you get trade ideas from me or somebody else, you still have that vision. This morning from the hit run candlestick room, and I don't even know what this looks like now. KBA, I posted, KBH, excuse me. KBH, I posted. It's a gap and trap setup. And you can see that right here. There's the gap. Oops, let's change that to an arrow. Make it red so you can see it. There's the gap trade. And then there's the pullback to the 3/8 trap setup. Beautiful chart. Posted that at 8:52 this morning. It would be, that's my time, so it would be 9:52 East Coast time. All right, and there's things like that come right off the scanner. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Here's another one, AZUL, that is setting up for a bullish trade right now. I'm going to flag that. Setting up for a very nice trade. This is a rounded bottom breakout right here. And you know, the rounded bottom breakout, for those that don't know, it takes into account the 50 period moving average and the 200 period moving average. What we're looking for is a trend over the 50 period moving average. Here's your 3/8 trap setup right in there. You can, you know, you have to look at the chart. Do you see the beauty in that chart? Do you see the low, the high, higher low, the high, the higher low, the high, the higher low? That's beauty, if you ask me. And looks great. Looks great. Okay, here's one that you know, they're finally starting to pop up. Might take a minute to populate once you play with this. CCK, again from the CBOE list. There's your 3/8 trap, and there's your breakout working right here. Para, P-A-R-A. Look at Para here. Now, you know, you look at Para here. I'm not sure this is going to be my favorite chart. However, it's doing everything I want it to be doing right there. Now, over here, I've got to decide if I want that trade. Now, one thing that I don't have in this, or this one, is I don't have a long-term trend. Now, you could certainly set it up so you have, you know, a 10-day trend, 20-day, 40-day, 80-day, 100-day trend if you want. You can do that. And then it will start alerting up here for your entry if you're looking for that 3/8 trap. So I look at a chart because I don't set long trends in there. I look at a chart, well, do I want to trade that chart? Probably not. Okay. I see the diamonds popping up. Look at the diamonds. Look at that trend. Look how the diamonds are starting to come back here. We're in that 3/8 trap, aren't we? Great information to know. Okay, great information. Okay, it is time. Questions. No questions, we call it a day. Real simple. You have charts you want to look at, questions about anything I pointed out here, questions about the trend, or I'm sorry, about the scanner, anything. Otherwise, I'm going to go have some dessert. Probably should eat lunch first, hadn't I? Okay, Tommy is writing something. Let's see what Tommy's got to say. Still waiting. That's all right. Take your time, Tommy. Okay. Thank you. Not a question, a comment. Thank you very much, Tommy. I hope that was very, very helpful for you. I hope you can put it to use. Let's see here. Is anything else moving that I see? Let's look at JEPI. What is that doing? Look at JEPI. That's coming up on one of my scans here. Beautiful chart. Can anybody, let's just look at the chart. Just this chart and only chart. No market, no nothing. No black swan, nothing. No event, nothing. Does everybody see how this might be a trade? If you say no, be prepared to explain yourself, okay? Keep in mind, I said, don't worry about the market. Don't figure none of that in. Just this chart and only this chart. Everyone afraid to answer? Can I let you all in on a secret? I was given a chance years ago to become a better trader. I didn't know it at the time. I did not know it at the time. It took me a couple of years after that to realize the day I was given a chance to become a better trader. Would anybody like to know what that day was? Thank you. I would like to tell you, but I wasn't going to tell you unless somebody asked. Can you guys tell that I'm trying to draw you out? Can you guys tell that? Because that's how you become a better trader. Yes, by Steve Bigelow. You're absolutely right, Danny. Years ago, when I was in Steve Bigelow's room, I was moderating his room. Him and I were moderating back and forth. And Steve decided that he wanted to go on vacation. Well, he had somebody there that could moderate his room, me. Well, when he did that on that particular day, I wish I would have wrote that day down, because that was probably the day that I became a very much a better trader. And that is because when you're moderating a room, and I'm not saying you have to moderate a room, but if you're active, ask questions, if you post charts, things like that, what will happen is you'll become a better trader, because as you post a chart, talk about a chart, you will be a little more careful, and you won't be such a, I'm going to take this because Mr. Magoo took it somewhere, or, because it had a upgrade maybe, because an upgrade doesn't mean that it should be bought. It puts you on the spot if you are active, if you ask questions, if you post charts or post tickers, and you say things like diamonds there. I like the diamonds because, and you write it in there, because it's still in a trend, because it's coming out of a 3/8 trap and has momentum, because it is a Fig Newton candle pattern. When you do that, I got to tell you, not that it really will matter to you, but I will be impressed to no end. You will move up on my list of when you speak, I listen, okay? And when you prove yourself and you can post charts like this and find charts like this and share charts like this, you will move up on that list for other folks as when that person speaks, I listen. What it will do for you, you will become a better trader. I promise you. I can't say you're going to make more money. I don't know how you trade, but you will become better for looking for charts, looking at charts, breaking down charts. You'll become much better at it. So that was the day that I became a better trader. Just anyway, thank you. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have any cuckoo clocks in my office. Take a look at SO. Could SO be setting up? Could be. That could be a trade for somebody. It could not be a trade for somebody. Let's see if I can find something else moving over here. How about some Home Depot? Look at Home Depot. Do you guys know that when, and I'm only sharing this with you because I use the scanner, and how confident I am of the scanner. When I do webinars, I rarely do PowerPoint webinars, full PowerPoint webinars, rarely. I may use a PowerPoint during a webinar, but it will be to get a few key points across, and then I will go to live charts. It doesn't matter if it's on the weekend, could be after market hours during the day, it doesn't matter. This is what I mean by a live chart. And what I will do is have the scanner in the background, and I can do a complete webinar on a particular subject, like a rounded bottom breakout, a 3/8 trap, bearish chart patterns, blue ice failures, things like that. I can do a complete webinar live in real time with confidence because of the scanner. Because when I'm looking at a particular window, these are called windows, and say my subject for like today pretty much has been a 3/8 trap. If that's my subject, I know I can look at my 3/8 trap windows, and I know that I will find great charts set up for that 3/8 trap. If I'm looking for blue ice failures, a bearish setup, I can look at my blue ice failure setups, and I can do a complete webinar in real time without marking down charts. I guess that's the point I was trying to get to. I can just look at the charts that's on the scanner, even after hours, even on the weekend. It will be Friday's close, but they will still be on the scanner on the weekend. Okay, so that was a lot to get out. I'm out of breath now. Anyway, if there are no other questions, I am going to call it a day. We're right about an hour right now. I have no problem staying a little longer if you would like me to, and if you have questions, I have no problem at all. But outside of that, if there's nothing, I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss something here. There we go. All right, Victoria's typing something. For those of you that don't know, I want to remind you that Doug and Right Way Options is having an open house today. So please feel free to check Doug out at Right Way Options. You can get into his room free. I was listening to him some this morning, and honestly, I love listening to Doug. He has so many good things to offer. For those that might be interested, mark it on your calendar. On February 25th, I will be having an open house. That's a Tuesday, February 25th, if you're interested. And I'll certainly let you know more about that. Okay? Alrighty, I don't see any other questions coming through. There we go. Thank you very much, Tex. I want to thank everybody for being here. If you have particular questions on the scanner, you can stay here in the room. Ed will be here. If you'd like to take advantage of the 14-day, absolutely no credit card trial from the scanner, Ed, I'm sure, will post it here in a moment. Take advantage of it. Yeah, you're more